Next, we have an awesome message I'm sure you from CallPilot. Sean Brenchley, Jad, why don't you guys come up on here? We have an awesome message for you before we bring out the Sharks. Who's excited for the Sharks? All right, yo. I was just walking around with them backstage. I am a little bit starstruck. These are very intelligent men, and I am so excited to bring these to you at SolarCon. Like, what a pleasure, what an honor to do this for the industry. And I really hope everybody takes some of these nuggets that we learned here at SolarCon back home and apply them to their businesses and their personal life that's going to affect thousands of people. So thank you so much for being here and putting the effort into coming to Las Vegas. You guys are all incredible. You've been great with me and my team. You've been great at supporting the industry. I hope that this has been such a huge blessing to you, and all of the money you spent to get here, all the time you put into it, all the babysitters you needed to get. Thank you, everybody. Right here we have Jack and Sean Brenchley. Everybody give it up for them.
Yeah? Is this on? Oh, there's one there. Great. We appreciate the opportunity. This seems like a reunion. I've been able to go and meet a lot of acquaintances. Just so that some of you guys don't know who I am, my name is Sean Brenchley. In 1988, I started doing security systems, and I partnered up with a guy named Todd Peterson, and we were at a company called Apex Alarm that turned into Vivint, but turned into Vivint Solar, and we had a great little run there. Not only did we sell one company, but we sold another company for over $2 billion. So we had a little bit of a success there. So if you guys don't know who I am, that's me. That's a little bit of my background. One of the things that I wanted to talk to you about was every time I get the opportunity, my mission is to develop leaders. And I want to do it through my experience. I want to go through excellence and through the knowledge that I gained over all the years. And so one of the things I always try to do is make sure that I have an opportunity to be able to give you guys some insights. The first thing that I want you guys to write down is something that I've learned over time, is the definition of frustration. So all of you guys are problem solvers in this room. You guys are all leaders. And the reason why frustration is a key word is because the definition of frustration is it's a violation of expectations. Okay? So if you have an employee that's ever frustrated, it's back on you looking at it from a leader standpoint of it saying, what were their expectations at the front? And what happened? Why did they not get that met? And because I understand that definition, it's been able to help me out throughout my career. So that's the number one lesson that I've talked to you guys about, is about frustration and being able to eliminate it by setting to their expectations. The second thing is that leaders capture hearts and minds. And that's a principle, right? It's our job as leaders to be able to capture hearts and minds. The hearts is a hard one. It's being able to be connected to them, their families, and the people around them to really care. And you can capture their hearts, but can you really truly capture their mind? Now, how does a leader capture mind? And the mind is a little bit different. And the reason why I say the mind's a little bit different is because as a leader, sometimes you have to make a decision that is not popular, that down the road eventually pays the dividends for them. And one of the things that I wanted to talk to you about that I saw as an experience being around some pretty phenomenal leaders like Todd Peterson, Keith Nelson, guys that I've been able to experience was a particular time that was interesting in our business. And it was when we were growing super fast, and the growth needed to be, it was sloppy. And we had to implement something that was a challenge. I was over the sales department. This was not something that was good. Jack actually came to us and said, we need to do a survey because our customers are getting frustrated. Now, going back on that definition of what is frustration, right? It's a violation of expectations. We are not clear on the expectations of the alarm. And if we don't fix this, our industry is going to go away. We are not going to be able to go knock on doors, and we are not going to be able to present this. And so what we did was we implemented a survey. It was a series of questions. It was 10 questions. We simply went through, and on every single sale that we did and every single install we did, we implemented a survey. That required us to have a call staff of 460 people. It was extremely expensive. We put the energy and effort out. The one thing that I saw was Todd Peterson stand in front of everybody and say, I want this to be a place where everybody can be here for a lot longer than all of you guys are going to be around. Now, I will honestly tell you, I haven't been able to get from the front door to here without seeing just a huge amount of people that have been blessed by the fact that they've gone and knocked doors, and they've turned into owners of companies that have done some great things. And I want to let you guys know that being a leader is not only capturing the hearts, but also the lines of dream heart leads for an industry. And one of the products that I had the opportunity to invest in was a company called CallPilot. Jack built it, and he came to me and he said, "Hey, this is my idea. I want to build something that you don't have to have the people, the 450 call center people, actually calling the customers, that we can actually do that, and that we could make sure that we validate the process and that the customers don't get frustrated because we set expectations right up front." And so I like to turn the time over to Jack so that he can kind of show and explain why CallPilot, what it does, and why it's important for you as a business.
Thank you. Give it up for Sean.
Thanks, Sean. It's a pleasure to be with you on the stage. It's been about a decade or more since we've been on the same stage. Why we're creating CallPilot, though, and Sean talked about it, when we're at Vivint, we need to go and make sure that we align or mitigate that viral expectation, right? We talked about it. For those of you who were at the panel yesterday, we've talked about it a lot. Violation of expectation, meaning that whatever was sold is equal to what they understood. And if the answer is no, CallPilot is exactly the solution. Our mission is to eliminate frustration, which is, again, violate expectation, and to ensure transparency, integrity, and compliance through that application. When we were at Vivint, again, we had to hire 480 plus representative, room full of people, bilingual, trilinguals, 6 days a week, 7 days a week. It's not scalable. I mean, if we had that growth back then, we would have had to have a room of 1,000 plus representatives to support that growth. Today, with technology, we can do that. It doesn't matter how many servers we need to do, how many languages. We don't need to worry about supporting different time zones and languages. So we can. Anyway, so that is what we've been able to do. What is CallPilot, right? And why do I need it? I'll talk about that a little bit. Why do you need CallPilot? It is really to go ahead and remove that possible frustration. I've run EBCs of being in a home automation and security. Oftentimes, customer says, "I wasn't told about this or that. I was told I'm going to get a new roof. I was told I'm not going to have a utility bill." How many of you guys have heard that from customers? The rep told, raise your hand if you've heard anyone ever says, "The rep told me that I'm going to get this or that." It happens more often than not. Well, the idea is to go in and aggregate the data and make sure that we then present it to the customer, litigate any possible misunderstanding. It's recorded, it's audio. We also have a lot of AI technology on the back end. We do a sentiment analysis. We analyze the voice. We're able to go and detect if they're confused, frustrated, angry, happy, neutrally happy, and so on. We do a facial analysis, and we can flag it and say, look, when someone's asking, do you understand this is a 25-year agreement? And they're like, "Oh, yeah, I'm not really sure." We could flag that now, and anyone, including sales leaders, EPCs, lenders, can go in and look at it and perhaps flag it and say, maybe we need to ask another question. I think that is one of the greatest problems that were solved. As a result of everything that's happened in the industry, Nevada came up with SB 293. Like that, there are other states that follow. I think California has some pending legislation, Minnesota, and I think there'll be additional states as a result of what happened. I think everyone in this room, we have the fiduciary responsibility to make sure that we sell the product and there is no frustration. And through CallPilot, we can do that. CallPilot, I think, is the greatest solution, but if you have a different one, you can certainly use that. We just believe that we're solving for these. Why do I need it? Okay? You need that because when you're being challenged, you can go in and pull that survey and you can go in and listen and see exactly what was said and how it was said. Unlike a phone call, unlike additional tools that are out there, you can't pause it. So there's a continuous recording. And if the rep is present or the customer is talking, you can hear any side conversation that is taking place. So it's a great solution to go in and make sure that no one is misled, that there is no frustration, and so on. So elimination of frustration. We'll go to the next one. We have compliance. I think we checked that box. You know, we had a huge uptick in subscription when SB came out from Nevada. We definitely met those boxes. I will tell you, having worked at Vivint, and I was the one who dealt with all the BBBs, AGs, and compliance. If I had that survey back then, video and audio, I think we would have had a completely different result. Now, you know, this one now, it's very tough to challenge anyone when you're seeing the customer clicking the button, answer the response after the question was asked. We also have in our facial detection, when they're not engaged in the survey, the AI avatar will pause, make sure the customer is refocused, and then re-engage. And that's to ensure the compliance is being met. And last but not least, I mean, Sean was talking about it. We build trust. I think that sales need to understand that this tool is not to hurt you, is actually to help you. This is one of the few items that you can go ahead and use as a defense. When there's an AG complaint, when the lender is saying, hey, did you say this or that? It's like, pull the call, listen to it, hear what I said, listen to what the customer's response was. Again, the idea is to eliminate frustration.
Yeah, and I think that the one thing that you can hear from Jack's side of it, he's also on the operations side of it. So every operator that's in here is like, you know, give him a hand clap. But all of us sales guys on the other side are like, oh crap, right? And I feel your emotion about, I got to tell you what happened when we did this. So we launch it, we put it out, the time we're going to do a survey. Obviously, we're getting resistance all the way across the board. Okay, every single guy. But what I saw was a level of leadership that took and rose everybody up. And when we asked and expected big key players inside of our organization, they took a leap of faith and they stepped up. They did something that was very powerful that's now integrated through every single security system company that does a survey. And they went out there, and what they found was that the customers actually appreciated the validating and solidifying we offer. And trust me, if there was any resistance, all the sales guys would have come back and I would have been I probably wouldn't have any hair, right? But I didn't. What I found is that they actually enjoyed it, and it was very beneficial to them. So, and we were able to implement it across the board. So that's something there for you. One of the things I wanted to explain to you is we don't tell you what questions to ask. You guys tell us what questions you want to ask. We just have this system that puts it in there. They ask the questions, you get the validation, and you get the response back. So
I would just say I back this completely. I was part of that process of it when it was implemented. I adopted it, utilized it to my advantage. I implemented it within the company that I built called Helio Gold. And I'll tell you right now, it generated more referrals than you could even imagine. As a sales rep, and I'm inside of the home, we all know as a sales rep, our job was to build rapport and trust with that homeowner. That's what differentiates us from the competition, is we have established a layer of trust of them. It is this survey that we did afterwards is a different level of trust. They didn't have to just base it off of me. I got third-party validation that the company also wanted to protect them. When I implemented this within my organization, sales reps loved it. The homeowners actually snatched and put it on a piece of paper. They actually snatched it out of their hands and said, let me answer this one, honey. This is my turn. And it was just a dynamic shift within the sales process to have the homeowners excited to understand what they were signing up for. I would tell the homeowner, you actually can have any salesperson come to you saying anything that they want. I could too. But the reason I get so many referrals is we have homeowners that trust us to do a great job. My company wants to make sure that you understand what you're getting into. Is that okay? And then, of course, yes, absolutely, please. I tell people all the time, when we go into pitch the homeowner, maybe they could take a little bit of pressure. Maybe they can handle us some of that one-touch close style selling it. But just because they can handle that pressure inside of the home with me doesn't mean that they're going to feel comfortable sending me to their mom. They're going to say, maybe I could handle it, but I would never subject my mom to that type of sales practices, so I'm not comfortable with doing it. Once this survey happened, it let down all guards. They were completely fine with it because there was a third-party validation, and they felt comfortable referring us to their own mother. I really appreciate that the sales process after that survey came out, and I do believe that this is something that all companies are going to adapt. We heard Abby Hopper up here talking about it. 85% of the issues that come into SIA are from the residential solar industry, even though we only comprise 20% of the total solar that she represents. That's an astronomical number.
Yeah. It's a big issue, but I think that it can be taken care of. I just need leaders to step up. One of the questions that people say, what's the most important thing that you've learned over all these years, Sean? I would say, understand the financiers. They're the key to this business. Make them happy, and you'll have longevity for a long, long time. Okay? And part of it's getting outside of the box and doing some things that are uncomfortable that may cost you a little bit, but in the long run is very beneficial for you. And I would hail all of you guys to take that step and that extra thing. We all are winners. We're all here because we want something more out of life, but we've got to contribute. And we've got to be able to control this in a way that this industry can be here for a long, long time. 10 years from now, you guys are going to see the guys that are selling are going to be leaders, and you want to be a part of something that could be great for them for a long time. So thank you.
Thank you, everybody. We do need to step off. Before we do, Jack, how would they get a hold of you?
Easy, Ellie. I'll put it on the screen. But again, I want to end it 10 more seconds. Remember, it's not about what you sold. It's about truly what they understood. And I think if you guys really digest that, you guys will have a great experience with CallPilot. How you guys know us? We've got a QR code. You can snap it, set up an online appointment. We're happy to go in and support you guys. And thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you, everybody. Give it up for Sean Trench and Jack.